Hey there, my name is Ed Howie, and this is Howie Grow a Brand.
1, 2, 3,
If you like what you learned from this video, help us promote this channel by clicking the like button below or subscribing to our channel. So you ready to go? Let's get into today's chat. So the concept of being a high-touch brand is not a new one. It refers to the trust established between a customer and an employed individual, or between a customer and the brand. Anyone who's thinking about starting a business or has an existing business they want to grow should be very familiar with the concept of high-touch branding. A high-touch brand is a great example of how a product can be a commodity or a product can be a brand. When you have a high-touch brand, you have these connection points that just fortifies the relationship, the community that your customers have with you and you with your community. Today, we're talking with organizational leadership expert, Dr. Denise Cumberland. Denise is also an associate professor at the University of Louisville, teaching both in the MS in Human Resource Education program, as well as in the BS Organizational Leadership and Development program. Denise and I have been great friends and great colleagues for many years. We've worked on some great projects and programs and worked with some great brands together. And I'm looking forward to visiting with her today on how you can take your brand and make it even more touchy, more high touchy for both your customers as well as your employees, and what dividends that can pay in your brand community. So let's get started. So we're visiting with Dr. Cumberland, Denise Cumberland. Denise, always good to visit with you. Always not a lack of words, huh?
Thanks, Ed. Always love our conversations.
How would you describe high touch traditionally as far as a high touch brand? And what are some key attributes you see that give great evidence or great example of a brand being a high touch brand?
Well, I think part of it is listening. I think good, solid brands who have this, what I call high touch mentality, really listen to their consumers, their employees. They try to uncover those things that will make life easier for them. What are they missing? What do they need? Now, not always can you figure that out with research, but again, really putting yourself, good brands and good marketers, good executives go down into the floor, into the environment. They try to truly listen and hear what's going on. So a couple things I've been doing in terms of high touch recently is trying to help brands understand what their employees are thinking or what their consumers are thinking. And I think that's a high touch. It's not just listening though, it's then putting steps into place to address what they hear. So a high touch is making it easier for consumers to adopt your product, be part of your brand, want to come back, right? And that can be everything from a service, as you and I both know, coming out of our quick service restaurant industry. It's the friendliness, it's the feeling. People want to be known. I think you said it best, Ed. The word connect. So whether we talk about it as high touch or connect, I think connection's valuable. And just a personal note real quickly, a lot of the healthcare organizations have set up Zoom exercise classes for older adults who can't go to these exercise classes anymore. I actually know a bunch of 70-year-olds and 80-year-olds who are Zooming in on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for their Parkinson's disease boxing class. I mean, we literally, today I just left one where you've got these older consumers literally have adapted to technology. They're now teaching me things like, oh, you change your name by clicking on the three little I mean, I love it. But kudos to those organizations for finding ways to stay connected to their clients or their customers. And that's through technology.
So are you seeing any best practices and brands that are doing a great job of connecting with their community right now?
Well, I think, again, obviously the category is going to be specific. So in the healthcare industry, the category they're addressing are, their clients who are using them for medical reasons. So safety, but even brands that, and you can hear it in the advertising. I know you're an expert at this. Listening to the ads on television and how they're basically explaining to customers the steps they're taking, those extra steps, precautions to give consumers a sense of confidence. So they obviously know consumers are worried. So they're taking steps and creating ways to give them that comfort level, connecting with the consumer based on their need. I need to know that you've made this environment safe for me to walk into. I need to see that everybody's wearing a mask. I think organizations have figured out that that's right now their threshold of worry is really high, and therefore their touch points are to help people be comfortable and confident that they're taking those steps. So you hear it in the TV ads. I've experienced it in the medical community in terms of walking in and having your temperature taken, being asked questions, frankly, having to sit in the car while my husband's inside. I don't even mind. I'm like, fine, I'll sit in the car. And I understand why I'm sitting in the car.
Oh, yeah. I think that brands now more than ever better really recognize what the key 3, 4, 5 touch points of their brand are. And even if you've got masks, or even if you've got less staffing, or even if you've got more uncertainty, you aren't going to get a free pass for not delivering on your brand DNA. And the challenge is how you adapt it in this world where it's high touch marketing, but don't touch me because it scares me.
I'll give you an example. I think Trader Joe's has done a good job. And I think from that standpoint, the experience there is they limit how many people are going in the store, and they have explained it in a way. And I think and they're not the only one, but brands have to tell the customers why they're making these steps.
Why?
And I think a brand that says we're protecting our employees and you, we don't want our employees to get sick. I go, yeah, you're right, because I understand the importance of your team members. And I like you better because you are taking those steps to protect your employees. So I think organizations have to, their hours. I've heard many times, when this first started, we've cut our hours so that we can make sure our stores are safe, that people, and I'm like, all righty, so I can't go to the darn pharmacy at 7 a.m. I can't go until like 9 o'clock. I'd rather you tell me you're keeping that store safe for your employees.
That's right.
So I think they can do it in a way that suggests that they have this humanity in front of them. So again, I do believe that there's a way for organizations to frankly take away from things from consumers, but let them know the reasons in a way that makes the consumer feel okay about it.
Right. Well, it's funny, that you and I have had the conversation in the past, how that marketing is in some ways one of the most complex things in the world. In some ways, it's just the simplest thing. And as you were talking, the vision I had, you said basically not just the what, but the why. I thought back to being a parent of a teenager, that, he's 21 and is still this way, but our son especially, he oftentimes would not respond well to the what of the request if we didn't explain the why. And sometimes I'm thinking, I'm the dad, I don't have to explain the why.
Right.
But the reality is that we're all kind of like that teenager, is that if we just explain the why, then a lot of times that is one of the touchiest things you can do in a good way, is that you care enough about your customers that you're explaining why you're doing the things you do for them.
Absolutely. And whether it's postings in the store or it's online, when you go to their online site, it says, these are the steps we're taking to keep everyone healthy. We want a world that is X, Y, and Z. I do think the why matters. It's always mattered, but it probably matters more now than ever, because we're having to see organizations scale back on some of the things they can do for us as consumers. As consumers, we've been spoiled rotten, so to speak.
Totally.
In terms of, having a carte blanche wherever I want to go. And now we're like, okay, so if organizations can help us understand the why, they'll keep our business.
And if you take care of me well now, you're probably going to have me a lot longer as well.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
So that's high touch.
That's high touch. Thanks, Denise.
Thank you, Ed. Take care.
Hope this helps and inspires your day. If any of this works in your business this week, I'd love to hear about it in the comments, or hey, just message me. And if you haven't done so already, please take a bit of time and like and subscribe to our channel. See you soon.